I just watched The Mandalorian and Grogu, and I am now a self called Mandalorian, which means you can't see my face. But just for this review, I'll take it off, which means I have to go to the living waters on Mandalore, or I'm going to have to kill you at the end of this video because you saw my face. I have yet to decide. But anyway, I am here to give you guys my review of the movie in this spoiler free review. Directed by Jon Favreau, in The Mandalorian and Grogu, we follow both these characters and their missions. They are working for the New Republic and killing or arresting imperial leaders that are still working for the Empire. They need to find coin, but find themselves in a bit of trouble after making a deal with the Hutt twins because they needed to save Rada the Hutt, their nephew. But things might go in a different direction. The twins also appeared in the Book of Boba Fett, which does tie in nicely together, I guess, with the movie. This is all I will say about the movie without giving too many spoilers because the trailers also didn't give us much of the story about what the movie is about. Now, I am a big, no, I am a huge Pedro Pascal fan, which you can see by my journey of watching every Pedro Pascal project and drawing stuff from those movies on my wall, which the drawings kind of suck. I'm not an artist, and I'm not just a fan of Pedro, but also of The Mandalorian, the show, and Star Wars in general. I mean, why else would I have these Funkos? I have them all. Also got some Ahsoka, got Boba Fett. Why else would I buy these? So having a new Star Wars movie after 7 years is awesome. And I still stand by that fact that it is awesome. To me, this movie is great. Of course, it has flaws, but for what the movie is, it is good. Now, like I said, Mando is played by or mostly voiced by Pedro Pascal because the body doubles are Brendan Wayne, Lateef Crowder, and or Barry Lowen. These are the body doubles or the stuntmen, but he still is that classic Mandalorian that the 3 seasons have been building. The character hasn't changed, so they stay true to that badass but also father figure of a character. He has amazing fight scenes and they are scattered all throughout the movie, and it's just such a cool character for someone whose face you never really see. It's just so cool that you can have such a favorite character for something like that, someone you don't really see much. Now, Rada the Hutt is played by Jeremy Allen White, which to me took some time to get used to. Now, I am gonna come out and say this. You can boo me, but I have not seen the Clone Wars or Rebels because I haven't had the time to watch it yet. So I will do that in the future, but for now I haven't watched those shows. So keep that in mind. But I've never heard a Hut character speak English. So when we meet Rada, it's very strange to hear him speak like this. But as the movie goes on, you do get used to it. And the character of Rada is actually a fun character. He does have good comedic moments in the movie, actually. So it's not just, Grogu that does all the comedy. And they actually also build off of each other sometimes. So they are both funny in scenes. So I guess Grogu and Rada, the duo is very funny to me. But Rada as a character was also just great to have some fresh new characters for me, but also things that tie in nicely with other shows that are, getting a future in Star Wars in the universe. Although I gotta say, the funniest character in the movie, they are definitely the Anzelians. Those are the Babu Freak characters. And there's four of them in this movie, and together they are dumb, but they're funny. And the way they speak, the way they move, it's just, I think everybody would laugh at this. And they actually appeared a lot, so that's very great. Sigourney Weaver is also in the movie. She plays Colonel Ward, a rebel and X-Wing pilot. She is just cool, but doesn't have too much to do in the movie, so yeah, but it's still a nice character to add to the movie, and also with a big name. Also, not the first time we see her in space, of course, as she is from the Alien movie or the Aliens. Oh yeah, and Zeb is also in this movie. He is from Rebels, but you all know that. I mean, like I said, I never watched Rebels, but I also didn't feel like I should have when I watched this movie. This movie could be one of your first Star Wars projects or anything you have seen, and you would still be fine by watching it, even though some characters are from different parts of the universe, you don't feel lost in any of it because they explain just what you need to know about the character, and that's enough to move on in the story. Now for Grogu. He is classic Grogu that you know, the cute baby to make you care about these two characters. He is the heart of the movie and the reason why most people probably will watch it. But going into this movie, I was wondering if he would stay as a side character or actually be just as important as Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. Because it's not just called The Mandalorian anymore, it's called The Mandalorian and Grogu. And yes, Grogu has a large role in the movie where he gets to be the main character, so the balance of both Mando and Grogu really works and happens, which is very nice. So, to all Grogu fans out there, you will not be disappointed because they really treat him like a character. I do wonder where we will see Mando and Grogu after this. I mean, will there be another season or another movie? Will they appear in another movie like that's not theirs but as a cameo maybe? Will we ever in our lifetime see a grown up version of Grogu, you know, when he's not a baby anymore? Also, being that Pedro fan, I am very glad that we do see his face because the helmet gets taken off again, which gives us a scene with actual Pedro, which makes me very happy. But all scenes with Din masked or unmasked are very badass and such cool fight scenes, so really no complaints on action or visuals. But the whole scene with Mando being unmasked, it's not just a short scene, you know, it's actually a good amount of time you spend with Pedro. Just the amount of time that you expect you will see him in this movie is what you get. So that's good. Some creatures or machines, by the way, in this movie are animated or actually stop motion, which makes it nice to look at because the first Star Wars movies obviously used this, well, animation because they were stop motion animated. And all the scenery is great as well. Nothing feels out of place for me, so it's all good visuals. That's always something you got to keep in mind because we're in actually like space or another galaxy. Nothing makes sense here, but it all looks good, you know? It looks believable. So it doesn't take you out of the movie. Now, for what I like less about this movie, it's that some characters get no background at all that you kind of wish would get some background information, like Embo. I know he's just a bounty hunter, but for the large role and epic scenes he gets, I wish we learned a little more about the character, you know? I mean, I know he's called Embo, but they never even call him that in the movie. But don't get me wrong, the character is cool and badass, like I said. I just wish he gave us a little more information. Where does he come from? Also, the movie kind of feels like it's 2 or 3 episodes of The Mandalorian. You definitely notice when one episode would end and the other would start. But because I like the show, it's less of a problem for me. But it does have a weird pacing problem because of that. So you do feel when that happens. And as just being a normal Star Wars fan and not having seen all Star Wars projects, I still liked what I got served. Now, because of it feeling like 2 episodes, it also feels like there are 2 endings, which means there's no real satisfying payoff from beginning to end of the movie because the first payoff is already in the middle and then there's another one at the end. So nothing from the beginning really matters towards the end, which does get kind of weird. You know, there's a weird feeling that not the whole movie should be even watched in one go. It's just a show. You're just binging a show, basically. You also don't need to really watch the Mandalorian show to understand this because not a lot of callbacks or even characters from the show appear in the movie. It really is a standalone project, which could be for better or worse. It depends on, you know, what you are expecting from the movie. But in my opinion, it could have used just any character from the show, even if it was Jack Black or Lizzo, but just to make the show and the movie more connected with each other because right now it's not. The only connection is just The Mandalorian and Grogu, but that's it. I am planning on working on a review for The Mandalorian season 1, 2, 3, also the Book of Boba Fett for my Pedro marathon. So be prepared for that. Now, normally I would draw something on that wall for my every Pedro Pascal project I watch, but that will be done in that next episode or the bonus episode for the Mandalorian show. And same goes to the tier list of characters. So stay tuned for where I will put Mando in that tier list. I gave the movie 4 stars, 1 star for every Anzellan. No, I think the movie deserved the 4 stars. I think this is one of my favorite adventures these two have been on, but the pacing for the whole movie could have been worked out a little better to also feel like a movie and not just like you're binging a show. Now, the movie will go to the fifth spot of all movies I have watched in theaters this year, which is in the middle, but that's because I have seen so many great movies this year already. So we are eating good in 2026, guys. Now, I do get to put this movie in my Pedro ranking list, and it will go to the third spot. If you are curious about these other movies, then what are you still doing here? You should watch the episodes where I watch all the Pedro projects. I mean, I've been talking about it the whole episode already. Go watch it. I will go into a more spoiler talk in the other video when I review the show. So if you want to talk a little more spoiler, then like I said, check out that episode. Did you watch the Mandalorian and Grogu movie and did you like it? Let me know in the comments down below. And now there's only one thing for me to do because since you saw my face, you have to die. So bye bye.